Imagine freeing yourself from relationships that drain your energy and cloud your happiness. It sounds liberating, right? That's because it is. Today, we're diving into some ancient wisdom that's as relevant now as it was thousands of years ago. Stoic philosophy offers powerful insights for handling toxic relationships, not with bitterness or regret, but with grace and strength. Let's discover how to rise above and find peace, the Stoic way. At its heart, Stoicism teaches us a powerful lesson. Our happiness doesn't depend on other people or external situations. It comes from within. This might sound like something you've heard before, but let's really think about what it means. It suggests that no matter what someone else does or says, they can't touch your inner peace unless you let them. Imagine someone trying to hand you a rock. If you don't reach out and take it, you won't be weighed down. The same goes for the negative energy from toxic relationships. Now you might be thinking, that sounds great, but how do I actually do that? It starts with understanding what you can control. You see, we often get upset because we try to control things that are beyond our reach, like trying to change someone else's behavior or attitude. But Stoicism flips the script and says, focus on your actions, your thoughts, your responses. When someone is being difficult or hurtful, ask yourself, what part of this situation can I control? Spoiler alert, it's how you respond. But here's where it gets really interesting. Stoicism doesn't teach us to be cold or uncaring. In fact, it's the opposite. It teaches us to approach our relationships with kindness and understanding, but without attaching our well-being to them. It's about caring deeply, yet not allowing ourselves to be dragged down by things we can't control. This way we maintain our inner peace and happiness, no matter what's happening around us. So, when you find yourself in a tough spot with someone, remember the Stoic perspective. Ask yourself, is my peace coming from within, or am I letting this person control how I feel? Remember, you have the power to choose your response. You can choose not to pick up the rock of someone else's negativity. This doesn't mean you don't care. It means you're choosing not to let external factors dictate your happiness. By embracing the Stoic perspective on relationships, you equip yourself with a tool that transforms how you interact with everyone around you. It's not about avoiding all conflicts or never feeling upset. It's about not letting these external events control your inner state. This shift in mindset is liberating. It frees you from the chains of external validation and opens up a path to genuine self-confidence and inner peace. Incorporating this perspective into your life doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey, one step at a time. But every step you take brings you closer to a life where your happiness is yours to control, not at the mercy of the changing winds of relationships around you. Continuing from the Stoic perspective on relationships, let's delve into one of the most empowering ideas, understanding what's within our control. This concept is a cornerstone of Stoicism, and honestly, it's a game changer once you get it. So, here's the deal. Life is full of stuff happening. People say things, do things, and sometimes those things aren't great. It's like being in a boat on the ocean. Waves come at you. Sometimes they're small, other times they're huge. You can't control the waves, but you can control how you steer your boat. That's what Stoicism is all about, focusing on steering your boat, not trying to stop the waves. When it comes to relationships, this means recognizing that you can't control what someone else thinks, feels, or does. You can't make someone change their behavior, and you definitely can't make them feel a certain way about you. Trying to do so is like yelling at the waves to stop coming. It's exhausting and ultimately futile. But here's what you can control: your reactions, your thoughts, your actions. When someone is being toxic, you have the choice in how you respond. Do you get pulled into the drama, or do you stay calm and centered? Do you retaliate, or do you respond with kindness and then set a boundary? These choices are yours, and they're powerful. By focusing on what you can control, you take back your power in any relationship. This isn't about being passive or not standing up for yourself. Far from it. It's about choosing to act in a way that aligns with your values and what you want for your life. It's about deciding not to let someone else's negativity dictate how you feel or react. This choice is incredibly liberating. It means that no matter what someone else does, you remain the master of your own emotional state. Practically, this could look like choosing not to engage in an argument, setting a firm but respectful boundary, or deciding it's time to walk away from a relationship that's no longer healthy for you. It could also mean changing your perspective on the situation, finding a way to see it as an opportunity for growth instead of a personal attack. Mastering this concept takes practice. It's like building a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Start small. Next time you're in a challenging situation, take a breath and ask yourself, what's within my control right now? Focus on that. It might be as simple as controlling your breathing, choosing to walk away, or deciding to speak up calmly and assertively. By understanding and applying this Stoic principle, you equip yourself with a tool that not only transforms your relationships, but also brings a profound sense of peace and empowerment into your life. You can't control the waves, but you can become an expert at steering your boat, no matter the storm. Building on the understanding of focusing on what's within our control, let's dive into the next crucial step: the importance of self-reflection. This step is where the real magic of personal growth happens. It's about turning the lens inward and asking ourselves some hard questions. But why is this so important, especially when dealing with toxic relationships? Self-reflection is like taking a good long look in the mirror, not to critique your appearance, but to honestly evaluate your inner self. It's about asking, how have I contributed to the dynamics of this toxic relationship? Is there anything I could do differently? This isn't about blaming yourself or taking responsibility for someone else's behavior. It's about recognizing your role in the dance of the relationship and seeing if there are steps you can change. This part of the process is crucial because it empowers you. It shifts the narrative from being a victim of someone else's actions to taking charge of your own actions and reactions. It helps you identify patterns in your relationships that you might want to change. Maybe you realize you tend to appease others at the expense of your own needs, or perhaps you find you're drawn to people who need fixing. These insights are gold. They're the first step toward making positive changes in how you relate to others and yourself. Self-reflection also helps in cultivating compassion for yourself and the other person. When you start to see your own imperfections and understand why you act the way you do, it becomes easier to extend that understanding to others. You might see that the person you're in conflict with is acting out of their own pain or limitations. This doesn't excuse toxic behavior, but it can help you approach the situation with a bit more empathy and less anger. So, how do you practice self-reflection? It can be as simple as taking a few minutes each day to journal about your thoughts and feelings, especially after interactions that leave you feeling drained or upset. Ask yourself, what triggered my reaction? Was there a healthier way I could have responded? What can I learn from this? Another powerful tool is meditation. Sitting quietly with your thoughts can give you the clarity and calm needed to reflect more deeply. It's about observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment, just curiosity. Over time, you'll start to notice patterns and gain insights into your behavior and reactions. Remember, self-reflection is a skill. And like any skill, it gets better with practice. It requires honesty, patience, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves, but the rewards are immense. It leads to greater self-awareness, personal growth, and ultimately healthier relationships. As we continue to explore cutting ties with grace and navigating toxic relationships through Stoic wisdom, keep in mind that self-reflection is your compass. It guides you through the murky waters of conflict and change, helping you navigate towards a more peaceful and authentic life. After embracing the power of focusing on what's within our control and the transformative practice of self-reflection, we reach a critical juncture, cutting ties with compassion and grace. This step is about making the brave decision to step away from toxic relationships, but doing so in a way that maintains our dignity and respects our own growth journey, as well as that of the other person. Cutting ties doesn't mean you're giving up on someone out of spite or because you don't care. It's the opposite. It's recognizing that the relationship isn't healthy for either of you, and that the most loving thing you can do is let go. This is where the Stoic teachings about control and self-reflection really come into play. You've realized that you can't control the other person or force the relationship to improve, but you can control your own choices and decide to move towards peace and well-being. Doing this with compassion and grace means acknowledging the good times and the lessons learned, rather than focusing solely on the negative. It's about expressing gratitude for the role the person has played in your life, even if it's time for that role to end. This doesn't necessarily mean you have to have a big dramatic conversation. Sometimes, cutting ties can be a quiet decision you make within yourself, followed by actions that align with that decision. Grace also involves setting boundaries in a way that's respectful to both parties. It's saying, I wish you well, but for my own well-being, I need to step back from this relationship. It's okay if this is difficult or if the other person doesn't understand your decision. What matters is that you're making this choice from a place of self-respect and a desire for genuine happiness, not out of anger or a desire for revenge. Here's the thing about cutting ties with compassion and grace. It frees you. It frees you from the cycle of negativity and opens up space in your life for healthier relationships to flourish. It also sets a powerful example of how to handle difficult situations with dignity and strength. And remember, cutting ties isn't always forever. People change, and life has a funny way of bringing us back together with others when the time is right and if it's healthy for both. But for now, your focus is on healing and moving forward, not on what might happen in the future. As you navigate this process, be gentle with yourself. It's okay to grieve the loss of the relationship. Allow yourself to feel whatever emotions come up. Just remember to keep coming back to those Stoic principles of focusing on what you can control and practicing self-reflection. These will be your guideposts, helping you to move through this transition with your head held high and your heart open to new possibilities. Cutting ties with compassion and grace is not just about ending relationships, it's about growing as a person and paving the way for more authentic and fulfilling connections in your life. It's a testament to your strength, your compassion, and your commitment to living a life that's true to your values. As we move forward, let's carry these lessons with us, not just in how we end relationships, but in how we live every aspect of our lives. With compassion, grace, and a bit of Stoic wisdom, there's no limit to the peace and happiness we can create for ourselves and those around us. After navigating the challenging waters of cutting ties with compassion and grace, we embark on a vital part of our journey, building resilience and fostering positive connections. This is where the true transformation happens. It's not just about moving away from what harms us, but also moving towards what heals and strengthens us. Building resilience is like training a muscle to make it stronger. Every time you face a challenge and come through it, you're a bit tougher, a bit wiser. Cutting ties with a toxic relationship is one of those challenges. It tests you, but it also teaches you that you can endure pain and come out stronger on the other side. This newfound strength is your resilience. How do you build this resilience? Start by embracing the Stoic practice of focusing on what you can control. Remind yourself daily that your reactions, emotions, and decisions are within your power. When you face a setback, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" This shift in perspective turns obstacles into opportunities for growth. Another key element is fostering positive connections. Now that you've made space in your life by stepping away from toxic relationships, you have the beautiful opportunity to fill it with positive, uplifting people. Look for individuals who share your values, support your dreams, and encourage you to be your best self. These connections can come from anywhere: schools, clubs, sports, online communities. Be open to meeting new people, but also be intentional about who you spend your time with. Remember, you're building a garden of relationships, and you want it to be full of flowers, not weeds. Cultivating these positive connections also involves being a good friend yourself. Show up for others, listen actively, and be supportive. Positive relationships are a two-way street. They require effort and care from both sides. By being the kind of friend you'd want to have, you'll attract similar energy into your life. But fostering positive connections isn't limited to friendships. It also includes your relationship with yourself. Treat yourself with kindness, practice self-care, and set boundaries that protect your well-being. Loving yourself is the foundation upon which all other healthy relationships are built. Remember, building resilience and fostering positive connections doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey filled with learning and growth. There will be bumps along the way, but each one is an opportunity to practice Stoic wisdom, to focus on what you can control, and to choose how you want to show up in the world. As you continue on this path, you'll find that you're not just surviving, you're thriving. You're not only resilient in the face of challenges, but you're also surrounded by a community that lifts you up. This is the power of Stoic wisdom applied to modern life. It's about more than just handling toxic relationships. It's about creating a life filled with joy, purpose, and meaningful connections. As we bring our journey to a close, let's reflect on the path we've traversed together. From understanding the Stoic wisdom on handling toxic relationships to embracing the art of letting go with grace, building resilience and fostering positive connections, each step has been a building block towards a more peaceful and fulfilling life. Now it's time to look ahead and envision how these lessons pave the way for your path to peaceful relationships. Your journey doesn't end here. It's an ongoing process of learning, growing, and applying the Stoic principles to your life. The choices you make and the actions you take from this point forward have the power to shape your future relationships and overall happiness. Remember, peaceful relationships start with you. They begin with a strong sense of self-awareness and an understanding of what you value most in life. By knowing yourself and what you stand for, you can navigate the complex world of relationships with confidence and clarity. This self-knowledge, combined with the Stoic wisdom of focusing on what's within your control, enables you to approach interactions with others from a place of strength and tranquility. As you move forward, keep practicing self-reflection. It's a tool that not only helps you understand your role in relationships, but also guides you in making decisions that align with your values. This practice ensures that when challenges arise, you can face them with a calm mind and a clear perspective, choosing responses that contribute to peace rather than conflict. Cutting ties with compassion and grace is another crucial lesson. It teaches us that ending relationships doesn't have to be filled with anger or resentment. Instead, it can be an act of love for yourself and the other person. By letting go gracefully, you open the door to healing and new beginnings, both for you and for those you part ways with. Building resilience and fostering positive connections are the final pieces of the puzzle. They remind us that life is richer and more rewarding when shared with people who uplift and support us. Cultivate these positive relationships with care and remember to be a source of positivity in the lives of others as well. In doing so, you'll create a circle of trust and love that fuels your journey towards peace and fulfillment. In conclusion, your path to peaceful relationships is paved with the wisdom of the past, illuminated by your own growth and resilience. It's a path that requires patience, courage, and a heart open to change. As you walk this path, know that you're not alone. The lessons of Stoicism, the strength you've discovered within yourself, and the positive connections you've made along the way are your companions. Your journey towards peaceful relationships is both a destination and a process filled with endless opportunities for learning and growth. Embrace it with an open heart and a curious mind. The future is bright, and it's yours to shape with grace, wisdom, and love. As we part ways in this video, take a moment to reflect on the steps you'll take next on your path. Remember, each day offers a new beginning, a chance to apply these timeless lessons in your quest for peaceful, fulfilling relationships. Share your thoughts, experiences, and the steps you're taking towards this goal in the comments below. Let's continue to support and inspire one another on this journey. Thank you for being here, for embracing the wisdom of Stoicism, and for taking these steps towards a brighter, more peaceful future. Keep moving forward, keep growing, and remember, the best relationships in your life are still ahead of you. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below, and if you found this video helpful, give it a like. Share it with someone who might need to hear this message, and subscribe for more insights on living a more fulfilling life. Your journey towards healthier relationships starts now.